Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Vibing with TJ podcast. I'm your host, TJ, and we're back again with my mother again. I hope that you guys have had a great week so far, having a great Friday as we head into the weekend, and we're gonna pop it off with part two of knowing your value. Again, like I said, we have a special guest from last week, my mother Jonetta, and we're gonna get right back into it. So last week we stopped at talking about oh god. What were we talking about? I guess we was coming into the healing part of it, right? Like my memory bad.
Right.
uh
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess we're gonna just keep going from there. So I guess we're just gonna pop right into like with the first question. So this time we're gonna do it a little different. I want to, how I had you last week. I wanted you to go back to like your lowest point in that
Yeah.
mind frame and what you thought about your value. I want you to bring it back up to date now with everything that you've learned, everything that you've experienced, you know, everything that's happened with the mindset that you have at this very moment right now.
At this
And
very moment, my mindset is truly on God right now.
true God.
It's a mindset of mm, that's a deep question. Let me just think the best way to answer it. In my current journey right now, where I'm at in my mindset, I am just loving on myself. I'm gonna have to go back like 40 years. June 8th, I became someone's mother. And I was 16 years old. So that was the time in my life where I was supposedly the way it's supposed to go is when you start learning who you are, you know. So I had to put myself on hold to learn how to be somebody's mom. And it went from that to learning how to be a wife. It went from that to learning how to be a grandmother, and then I just had to learn how to be a whole lot of things as my way of survival and trying to be a good mom to my children. And so 40 years fast forward 40 years later at the age of 56, I'm just not learning how to be me
Mm.
and know who I am and adjust to that. And it's an eye-opening experience. Um, Learning how to love yourself first and foremost. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Getting through that first time of saying no and how that made me feel is where I'm at now.
Okay.
That rate and feeling of saying no and that weight
Mm-hmm.
being lifted. Ooh, that wasn't that hard. So
Yeah.
when I think back in hindsight of knowing my value, I learned how to be a whole lot of things, and I think I did a pretty good job with raising my kids. I wasn't a perfect mother. I did the best I could with what I had. And hell, I learned along the way through my children. I still learn through my kids. I'm learning through my grandkids. You're never too old to learn and never too young to teach. I truly believe that.
Oh yeah, I
So
believe that too.
yeah. So I'm learning how to be me, Janetta
Okay.
Free, and it's I'm happy. I'm content. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Okay.
I'm in a mind and connecting with him. And in order to connect with myself, I have to connect with him.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So how would you say you view your self value now?
I am the bomb.com. No,
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
still the bomb.com, but no, for real though. I'm just a humble human being. I'm a soldier in the war of God. I'm a warrior. I'm a prayer warrior. I'm a prayer grandma. I'm a prayer mom. I'm just here.
Mm-hmm.
I the world, but I don't want to be a part of the world. You know what I mean? So I want to be a part of God. I want to be.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what do you mean by that? Okay. So you don't want to be take on what the world got going on in this day and age, because
Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
what the trend is. This is what everybody else is doing. So no,
Hmm. No,
I truly
I feel.
with
I
him.
feel you on that because I'm kind of like the same way. I'm like I don't want to get into those trends and nothing like that. I want to do what's best for me and what works for me, and me standing in my true authentic self is that's your superpower. Instead of trying to trend with everyone else, there's nothing wrong with trending if that's what you want to do. I don't want nobody to get like no misconception. I'm not trying to judge. I'm just saying that for me in my house, I have to stand in my own true authentic self.
Yeah,
So and maybe that's how I'm perceiving what you're saying, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I went through a period of time of trying to be accepted. You remember we talked about that the last time, and it started from my mom trying to be getting her approval, and also with my dad being accepted by men. In a sense. Now that I'm out of that mindset, my approval, God, I want Him to say, "Well done" at the end of my time. When I go to the everlasting life, when I go
Glory.
to meet, the two words I want to hear come out His mouth is "Well done." You know what I mean? So I'm not living my life for the approval of the world. I'm doing. I'm letting, like I said before, letting go and letting God, literally, and it's so liberating. It's just so a whole totally different experience of life. So I'm learning how not to let life stress me out.
Oh yeah, I can relate to that. I think I guess more recently for me since um Kenya passed away is been just a state of for me just surrender. Like every time I think about like if I'm just trying to something is trying to get me stressed out or take me out of my happy place or just take me out of character, I can almost envision myself like standing. I don't know where I'm standing, but I'm just standing with my eyes like this, with my
I,
arms opening, and I hear that song, that Tasha Cobb song, "I Surrender," and it just like it just things just go away. Yeah, like and I can understand what you're saying. Like it's liberating. Like things don't bother you like you used to before when you truly just like I surrender and I just you got it, God, because I don't know what to do. Because if I'm to do
yeah.
it, I'm going to jail.
Still, especially when it comes to family, pushes a button. It pushes it in halfway, and I'm glad that I got somebody that I can reach out to vent to. You are an inspiration to me, whether you know that or not. You help me to stay
Who?
grounded. You,
Oh,
um,
oh,
you do. And it depends on what situation is. It's like I got this different kind of connection with all of my kids. Where like the drama stuff, I can call Nikki and be like, "Girl, like what happened last week?" We're not gonna mention it, but you
no,
and
I ain't
Nikki
gonna
would
mention that.
that and Kenya would have been one of them. Like, "Girl, guess what this happened did," kind of thing, and to talk me off the edge, kind of thing. Because I know I'm learning from learning by learning who I am. I'm a very emotional person. I'm very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
That about me. So I'm learning how to control my sensitivity, how to control my emotions. Instead of reacting, I respond. So it's a different.
It
So
is.
yeah, yeah. So and you ladies are the ones who helped me get to that point, whether you know it or not. So I had to call y'all sometime to let me just call somebody to get me off the edge and let them hear it out. I got to hear myself say it out and let somebody else hear it and like, am I thinking crazy? Should I do or should I, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah, I do that
I'm so
sometimes too. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
that was a little awkward, and I'm like, oh okay, yeah. Let me call somebody that help me get off the edge. But yeah, that's a process that I'm going through right now. And then after I go through my vent session, I take it to God. I'll be like, God, because that's my homeboy now. You know what I'm saying? When I go in my prayer closet, we have conversations,
Oh yeah.
and I take it to him. He'd be like, girl, don't even worry about
Oh
that.
yeah. Like yeah. When I meditate, I'd be like, I have a conversation with God.
Yeah, he said,
Yeah.
vengeance is the Lord. It truly is. Let me handle him. You ain't got to know,
Mm.
but this is a way of letting you know that they need you more than you thought you needed them. you
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
And so, not to gloat or try to, I
No.
don't wish nothing bad on nobody. I truly
No.
believe in karma. Karma is a bitch and can be a beast. So
Yes.
I nobody, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Jesus, my homeboy. I agree with you on that. And like I was saying, like when I meditate, and then like I when I meditate, and I'm I guess that's my form of prayer, and I'll be talking to God. I'll be like I'm having a conversation. I'm like, okay, man, you got to tell me what's going on, because yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It seems like
So
um, it's just so ordained or organic that we're having this conversation because December 31st, 2022, I woke up with the word prepare on my brain. And we was already going through that with Kenya's
Kenya,
journey and what, like, okay. So I didn't know what I was getting prepared for, but in hindsight of it, when I was doing my prayer to God, I told him, I'm ready for you to take away all my distractions, clean house, do what you gotta do. You
hmm
know what I'm praying for, that type of thing. Kenya was oh it still breaks my heart, but I'm taking the positive out of what her journey too. It was a
hmm
wake up call in a sense, um, about being more mindful of taking care of self. You know what I mean? Because she lived in her purpose. She was I was inspired by Kenya. Her loss is just so. Mm,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
hit.
I talked about that a lot on. She come up a lot on the show. I told her that, and I'm probably realizing now, like she probably was a waking point for a lot of people in the family. If people don't know, like that, Kenya was like, you always say that was your fifth child, and I say that was like my little sister. So she
Yeah,
really, it was a
five.
devastating blow to lose her.
New Year's
But
Eve, he woke me up with the word prepare, and he shook some stuff up in my life. A 20-year friendship was ended right before Kenya got her wings, with someone that I was very loyal to as a friend. But he told me prepare. That's what he was, stuff like that. I feel like prepare for what was happening, what my
it
baby
was a multitude of things to prepare for.
things. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, he showed up and he has showed out and he's still showing out in so many different ways with my organization, the non. I'm stop saying my with the organization that me and my BFF, who also got her wings, founded 21 years ago. Um, During the times that we was becoming grandmothers, so we didn't know what we didn't know when we started that organization. But he won't allow me to let it go. So I'm literally like I said, letting go and letting God because I've been trying to do it my way, the way I thought that He wanted me to do it. Now that I'm
Hmm
stepping into letting it flow, I see the direction that He needs it to go in. So the hashtag help someone keeps coming
hmm
to my head. So that's my motto when it comes to the nonprofit. But yeah, knowing your
Yeah,
value. I'm at the age of 56, 40 years later. I'm learning who I am. I'm becoming Jonetta the Greek Riches.
yeah,
I had to become somebody's mom. Now I'm becoming me. So,
yeah. That
hey,
makes sense. I guess when you said that, it brought me back to Kenya again, because if there was nobody else that didn't know her value, Kenya knew her value, and she
yeah,
didn't let nobody rock her from it. Like, and I think that's probably one of the things I admired. One of the many things I admired most about her. She didn't let nobody knock her off her game. She didn't let nobody like mess with her mental or her emotional. Like it took a lot to really rock her. Like seeing her sick was the lowest I've ever seen her. I have never even seen her cry before that. And
yeah,
not to say that that's like good or bad, but that's just how she was, just a happy person. Like she would didn't let she let things roll off her back. Like, oh, I'm not, they ain't gonna bother me. It is what it is, like. So yeah. Yeah, she man. It's so many words to describe her, but I think
Yeah.
it's crazy that how she woke up a lot. Her passing woke up a. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people. I'm just gonna speak for myself, and I guess you said too. It woke you up too. I don't know how it affected other people, but maybe we'll find out one day. You never know. So yeah,
Yeah.
wow, wow. The fifth
Mhm.
child, my mom's fifth child. Yeah. Uh
Yeah.
huh. Okay. Okay. So the very last question I have for you before we get off of here, and I want you to go in, if you can, go in as detailed as you can. Tell me as much as you can about what would you would say. Think about who you are today, and you know how we did last week. At your lowest point, who you was then. Okay, you got that in your mind right now,
Mhm.
and I want you to come up with the most encouraging thing you would say to her right now with who you are today. What would you tell her today?
Hmm. Wow. I would tell her, I don't know, the word "go back to your roots" is coming in my head, and
Okay.
go back to your roots. If you're feeling like you're going in circles in areas of your life, it means it's time for you to stop and let God do. Stop trying to force things. I've spent a lot of time trying to make things happen instead of just letting it happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Figure out. Maybe I should rephrase that. Everybody is God plants a seed in all of us. So whatever that desire you feeling in your gut, whatever it is that you're that thing. I don't know how to say it, Tanisha.
That tinkling, figgling. I said what I call it nagging. For me, it was nagging, but it's different for everybody.
And when you feel like you're going in circles, I don't know, whatever in your life you feel like you're just going in circles, you feel like a hamster, stop. Just stop and just give it to God. And then listen, because God speaks to us in ways that He know that you can understand it. So I tell you this thought when you say your prayer, ask God to talk to you on your level of understanding. That's what I had to start asking Him. Bring it to me the way you know I will receive it, because you know my love of music. I hear messages through songs when I'm talking to my children. Y'all might not know it, you don't know it, but sometimes little things that you say make me be like, okay, I hear God is a message in it. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
learn how to listen to yourself. Just learn how to listen to yourself because it's God talking to you.
Trust yourself.
When you feel like you're in circles, going in circles in areas of your life. With me, it was in relationship. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I was going back to December 31st, 2022. Relationships. That word "ship" at the end of that word, ships is gonna pass. People gonna come and go in your life. You just need to learn how to that spirit of discernment. Listen to yourself when
Mm-hmm.
because people will tell you who they are when you do meet them. They tell you up front, "This is who
You know
I
it,
am."
it's you know it's
Look a boy,
crazy. You
huh?
say that. It's crazy that you say that because I don't know if I mentioned it before, but Grandma told me that one time. Grandma told me that people show you exactly who they are from day one. Grandma told me that. And I
Yeah,
don't know how old I was, but it's always stuck with me even to this
yeah.
day. Yeah.
When I think about that phrase, and then going back in hindsight of that 20-year friendship that I was talking about earlier, you told me who you was several times,
Mm-hmm.
but the way it was presented when you was saying it, it was like I heard it, but I didn't hear it, but then it stuck at the same time because afterwards
Mm-hmm.
I thought I said it, kind of thing. So that was God
Mm-hmm.
talking in
Mm-hmm.
that, but people
Yeah.
do really show you. They show you who they are. So that little gut feeling that you get when somebody say something or do something, listen to it and then adjust yourself accordingly because that goes
Mm-hmm.
back to people the way how you want to be treated, but hey, I'm gonna treat you the way you treat me too.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate it when, well, I ain't gonna say hate, but sometimes it gets on my nerves when somebody try to tell you how they feel about somebody that you just not met. Oh, this is person is this, that, don't trust them, don't do this,
Mm-hmm.
because they so and so. They ain't did that to me, but because this is what they did to you, you don't want me to be friends with them. You don't want me to have a connection with them. I don't judge people by how they treated you. But at the same time, I'm listening to what the hell you're saying about what they did. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how to still treat them how you want to be treated. But I'm adjusting to you too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so you do, or if that happens, yeah, I already knew what it was. It's just I don't know how to say it, but yeah, I won't be so disappointed because I remember what they said about you. But you ain't did that to me, so I'm not gonna judge you based on what you did over there. I'm gonna give you a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna give you a
Mm.
chance because I
Yeah.
ain't perfect,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah. I get
mindful.
what you're saying.
I'm all about action speaking louder than words. I watch how you move, and that's how I
Oh,
judge. Yeah,
boy, I tell you, it's coming out left and right because we were talking about that with Nikki and Keisha. Like Keisha was saying, we watch how people move first before
and
we
y'all for me because sometimes y'all know I shut up. Sometimes I'm tired of talking about it. Let me just show you what the fuck I mean. Excuse me, sorry.
You can cuss. It's all right. I let some bombs out sometimes.
Tell you kind of thing when I say action speaks louder than words. My actions are gonna speak for whatever it is that I need for you to hear, based off how I start moving. Just like
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching you move, and that's how I'm adjusting to you accordingly too. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
you
think my
your
biggest thing is I listen to people and I watch how they move and I want to see, does it sync.
right. Does the two go together? Most
Because
times,
it's yeah, if it's off, I'm like, know about this certain something a little off here. Now I got to use some discernment with you. Now am I gonna just,
exactly.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So
Thing my dad
yeah,
told a long time ago. He said your word with your word and your name will travel further than you ever will. So if people
that's
can't
true.
trust your word, when your name come up, it's gonna get scratched off the list. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And your
Mm-hmm.
dad told me time too. Your name will travel further than you will because according to what you're doing, people gonna talk about it. Word of mouth is
Mm.
the biggest way of how things get around. So if you're
Yes,
doing
true.
something crazy, people gonna find out about it. If you're doing
Mm-hmm.
something out there, people gonna find out about it. Just by word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
your name will travel more farther than you will ever go.
Oh
So
yeah, I believe that. I believe
yeah.
that. Oh wow. Yeah.
So I tell
Yeah.
myself way back then to listen to that little voice talking to you and just sit back and watch, observe, and adjust yourself accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you
Mm-hmm.
feel like you're going in circles, sit back and just analyze the situation and just listen to, you know, take yourself
Mm-hmm.
out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can relate to that wholeheartedly when you say, I guess for mine it's more, and it's probably the same thing. You probably just saying it different. Mine is just uh trust yourself. Because I'm learning that, and I think we talked about this a little bit. Like my intuition be, not to boost myself up, but my intuition be on point. Like when I feel something, I be like, a lot of times I be like, okay, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, or I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, and then it happens, something happens. I'm like, I knew it, I knew it, I felt it.
yep.
Yeah. So mine is just trust myself. So I'm getting to that point now. Like if I feel something that's off, I'm like, yep, I ain't feeling with that no more. I ain't even doing it because I'm not going to, like we talked about earlier. I'm not going to disappoint myself. You know. Um. And I guess it's probably going to be an ongoing lesson that I'm going to have to. I ain't gonna say a lesson, but something I'm going to have to keep fine tuning because I still slip up. I slipped up recently with that, like giving somebody the benefit of the doubt, and it's like, oh, I knew you was gonna do this, and
Thank you here recently too. Yeah. Yeah.
mm,
Be like, I knew it, but why am I still justifying your action when it comes
mm-hmm,
to our? relationship. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
step
Yeah.
according to you treat me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I had to, and I think that was just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain. I'm still kind of chewing on that one, but like I said, it's probably an ongoing thing. I have to adjust because people are going to come in different forms. It's going to present in different ways as that I probably never seen it before, and it's going to make me think, well, maybe I should give them the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? And instead of trusting myself, so it's just making me go deeper and deeper into like really trust. And I guess trusting myself is like really me diving deep in trusting God because that's who's talking to me. You know,
Right,
that's
right.
who's giving me this. Like, when I talked to Keisha and Nikki, and I said, like, when I think I asked you this question, is ignoring red flags or ignoring signs like ignoring God? And I have to ask myself that too. Like, okay, I'm getting this inkling, this intuition for a reason. God gave us this discernment of intuition, so trust it. It's not there for no reason, you know. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I went off on a little rant, but yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
to that question, I know it wasn't presented to me, but I feel like yes, you are ignoring God, especially if you asking God to show you certain things, and he's showing it to a way that you know it's him showing it to you, but you're still justifying it,
We
straddling
don't.
the
We don't.
fence.
We done all fell victim to it though, so I can't. We ain't judging nobody. We done fell victim to it. I know I have. And I'm like, God, it done slapped me in the face, and I still be like, but really, is it so? Is it? No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've done it. So okay, wow.
And we
We gonna, yeah, we human. You gonna slip up. You gonna make mistakes. We're not perfect, and that's life. But the whole point of it is you're supposed to be constantly growing and evolving and learning from it. You know, supposed if you're still going like you said on the hamster wheel, going through the same lesson over and over again, and you find yourself in that loophole, you ain't something ain't right.
right.
You ain't learning something. That's why God keeps repeating this lesson over because you're not learning what you need to learn from the lesson. And I had to learn that too because I was going through something over and over again, and I had to step back like, why do I keep going through this? You know, why I keep going to this? What is going on?
And for me, I can only speak for me when I'm repeatedly doing that circle. I'm like, okay, is there something wrong with me? What am I doing? You know, what is wrong with me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You think, stop,
Yeah.
sit back, listen.
Yes.
You,
Trust
and
yourself.
when you praying for it, you know he's showing up. He's showing you and, at your level of understanding. Hear the flags. What you gonna do? They go that fork in the road and stop justifying it. It is what it is. People gonna be who they are.
Yeah. But I
Justify.
think when and I'm like I said, I'm gonna speak for myself again. Like you said, when you said that fork in the road, I think it's gotten to a point now since I've gotten so more fine tuned with myself and I trust myself even more now. My intuition, the fork in the road don't even present. It's just no, I ain't going there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just all it ain't even a thought no more.
In some areas, I'm still struggling with that fork in the road.
Okay, well that makes sense because I still, like I said, I had a slip up recently. So, but I learned from it, and now I'm like, okay, I've adjusted myself accordingly since then. Okay, I see what
Mm,
this is. This was presented in a new way. I haven't seen it this way presented before. And I think we talked about this too. I talked to you about it because it was with a friend that I was talking about, and I said, okay, yeah. I ain't going into
yeah.
details about it, but yeah, I slipped up. So, but I learned from it. But anyway, wow. See, look at that. Another 30 minutes done gone by. You don't even realize it. See, she be talking junk. He be talking junk. Okay, so that was good. I hope you guys found some value in this. We're gonna wrap it up for this week, unless you got something else you need to say, mother.
I think I'm good.
You
Let go,
think you
let God.
good? Let go, let God, surrender. And that's it's coming into my head again. Tasha Cobb, I surrender. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very visual. So yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up for this week. I hope you guys have gotten some value out of this show. She is the very last guest for this year. So Yeah, so in 2024, we're going to have some more guests come on. We'll see how it plays out. But she's the last guest of 2024. Yeah.
Last on the show. That's some scripture.
Oh, look. What you say?
I said that's one of the scriptures in the Bible somewhere, ain't it? Some first and last.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? It is. It is. I don't know what part it is, but you're right. It is. It is. Okay. Yeah. It's okay. So, all right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. And we will see you back with just me. No guest. She's the last guest. Just me on the Vibing with TJ podcast. Peace out.
Peace out.